Imagine waking up in the vibrant streets of Sao Paulo, Brazil, where the morning sun dances off the colorful buildings and the scent of freshly brewed coffee fills the air. This is the world of Carlos, a 20-year-old university student studying environmental science. From a young age, Carlos carried a deep curiosity about the natural world, but as he grew older, he realized that knowledge alone wasn't enough. Action and integrity were the keys to making a real difference. Today, you're about to join him on a journey that will test his courage, compassion, and commitment to doing what's right, no matter the cost. Carlos's story begins on a humid summer morning when he receives an urgent message from his mentor, Professor Almeida. A nearby community in the Atlantic forest is facing illegal logging, and endangered species are at risk. Determined to help, Carlos packs his backpack with research notes, a water bottle, and a small recorder to document conversations. As he boards a crowded bus winding through lush hills, he thinks back to his childhood in Brasilia, where his grandmother taught him the importance of honesty and respect for all living beings. Those lessons would guide him in the days ahead. Arriving at the village of Vale Encantado, Carlos is greeted by Dona Marissa, a local school teacher who organizes environmental workshops for children. Her warm smile masks her worry. "Carlos, the loggers are becoming bolder. We've lost 2 tamarin families already." Carlos's heart sinks. These tiny monkeys, with their tufts of white fur, were symbols of hope and resilience to him. He promises Dona Marissa that he and a small group of volunteers will gather evidence to present to the authorities and to anyone else who will listen. That afternoon, Carlos meets his team, Lena, a fearless 22-year-old journalist from Colombia, Mehdi, an impassioned 19-year-old activist from Morocco, and June, a 21-year-old photographer from South Korea. Each carries a unique skill: Lena's piercing questions, Mehdi's rallying speeches, June's eye for powerful images. Together, they form a mosaic of cultures and ages, united by a shared belief: protecting the forest protects humanity's future. Their first task is observing the logging sites under cover of dusk. Carlos's palms sweat as he crouches behind a thick bush, peering through binoculars at bulldozers tearing down ancient trees. He clicks his recorder on, hoping to catch the loggers' voices. Suddenly, a beam of flashlight sweeps across the clearing. Heart pounding, Carlos holds his breath. Lena's metallic voice whispers in his ear, "Stay calm. We'll retreat slowly." Inch by inch, they back away, their footsteps quiet on the soft earth. The night air is thick with tension and the distant call of nocturnal birds, some of which might soon vanish. Back at camp, they review the footage and recordings. Lena crafts a narrative that exposes the illegal operation, weaving together testimonies from villagers and hard evidence. June's photographs capture the devastation: stumps where towering trees once stood, muddy tracks where wildlife once roamed. Mehdi drafts a petition demanding immediate action from both local government and international conservation groups. Carlos uploads their findings to social media, where the story begins to spread like wildfire. But as attention grows, so do threats. A menacing message arrives on Carlos's phone: "Leave now or face the consequences." Fear grips him, but he remembers his grandmother's words: "Courage is not the absence of fear, but choosing what matters more than fear." That night, under a canopy of stars, Carlos shares his doubts with his friends. Lena places a hand on his shoulder. We knew this wouldn't be easy, but we're stronger together. United by purpose, they decide to press on. The next morning, they organize a peaceful demonstration in the village square. Dozens of locals join in, holding hand-painted signs, "Save our forest, protect the tamarin, our future depends on you." Journalists from across Brazil and beyond arrive to cover the event. As cameras flash and microphones extend, Carlos steps forward to speak. His voice quivers at first. This forest is more than trees. It's our home, our history, our hope. If we lose it, we lose ourselves. The crowd cheers, emboldened by his sincerity. Meanwhile, Professor Almeida works behind the scenes, meeting with regional officials to demand an urgent investigation. Under public pressure and fear of international embarrassment, the governor orders a temporary halt to logging and sends a task force to inspect the sites. Carlos and his team accompany the inspectors, guiding them through muddy trails and sharing data collected over days. The task force confirms illegal activity, and several arrests follow. With the immediate threat contained, Carlos turns his attention to long-term solutions. He collaborates with Dona Marissa to integrate environmental education into the local school curriculum. Together, they develop interactive lessons where children plant saplings, track wildlife with homemade cameras, and write stories celebrating Brazil's natural heritage. Medi arranges workshops on peaceful activism, teaching villagers how to advocate for their rights without violence. Lena's articles continue to raise awareness globally, inspiring similar campaigns in other countries. June's photos find their way into galleries and magazines, reminding the world of the beauty worth protecting. As weeks turn into months, the forest begins to heal. Young trees sprout where chainsaws once roared. Families of tamarins return, their playful chatter filling the air once more. The village of Vale Encantado transforms into a beacon of resilience, proving that collective action can overcome greed and apathy. Through it all, Carlos reflects on the moral lessons learned, that honesty in reporting injustice can spark change, that kindness toward nature and each other creates lasting bonds, that courage lies in standing up for what's right, even when the odds seem insurmountable. He realizes that age and nationality matter little when people unite under a common cause: his Brazilian heritage, Lena's Colombian fire, Medi's Moroccan passion, June's Korean precision, all converge to protect a precious ecosystem. One evening, as the sun sets in a blaze of orange and pink, Carlos sits by the riverbank with a journal in hand. He writes a letter to his younger self. Never doubt the power of one voice, one action. Every small step forward ripples outward, touching lives you might never meet. Integrity and compassion will guide you through darkness into light. Always remember, the world needs your story. Before signing off, he turns the camera on himself for one final message to viewers around the globe. If this story moved you, share it with others. Let's spread the message that when we stand together, we can overcome any challenge. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to follow our journey, because this is just the beginning. There are countless stories waiting to be told, lessons to be learned, and lives to be changed. Join us, and let's write the next chapter together. In the end, Carlos's journey wasn't just about saving a forest. It was about awakening a community, forging friendships across continents, and discovering that true purpose lies in serving something greater than oneself. And as you close your eyes tonight, remember that you, too, carry the potential to be a guardian of hope, a storyteller of change, and a catalyst for miracles in a world hungry for goodness.